questions so far? Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe on line 12, you still have that div ID root not rendered. Or line 11, sorry.
Yep.
Where did that go?
Where did the not rendered go?
Yeah.
When you say render, like here, it blows away anything that's inside of it. Right. So it just overwrites it. So for example, like if I put in here, throw new error, and then I go back over here, you'll see it actually probably just blew it away. It still blew it away because it did try to render in it, but if you put it outside of that, then it'll say not rendered, right? Because it didn't get cleared out. So this just kind of helps you to see that your JavaScript is loading. It's just something I do. It's not necessarily like a best practice or anything like that. Cool. This is the best error right here, by the way. Okay. Other questions? Yeah.
In your app declaration, you have it return something, which I'm assuming is whatever magic React is doing when you run that in the background. But then we're passing that another React.create element. What's up with that?
Yeah. Good question. So let's talk about the three parameters that React.createElement gets. The first one is what kind of tag is it, right? So you can see here, I've called it 3 times React.createElement. I've called it here, I've called it here, and I've called it here. The first one is what kind of element it is. This is a div, this is an h1, and this is what you would call a composite component, which is a fancy way of saying a component that you and I created, right? The second one, which right now is an empty object, and undefined, because we're just not defining it here, right? Is all the attributes that you want to give the component. So if I wanted this to have ID of something important, now this ID is going to be passed into this div. So just to prove my point, if I refresh and come over here, and I look at inspect element, you can see here that this now actually has an ID of something important. Right, so this is the attributes that are going to be put on the DOM element. Or if I gave it to app, this is going to be the attributes that are going to be passed down into app that I can use. We'll talk about that in a second. But suffice to say, this is whatever you want to pass into the child element, in this case the div. The third one is the children. So inside of div here is an h1, right? And so that's what this third one is it's whatever children you want to be passed into this particular element, right? So in this case, the children of the h1 is just the text adopt me, right? But I totally could have put like a span in here, right? Or something like that. Now this can be either singular or this can also be an array, right? Because a div can have 15 children, right? So here I could also have, let's just do it for fun. Okay, now I have 2 h1s with adopt me. So if I go back over here, you can see that there are 2 h1s passed into this. So technically this doesn't have to be an array. You can actually just pass these in all as parameters. It still works. It's called variable arity, which is a stupid computer science word that I learned and I wanted to impress you with. It just means that it can accept as many extra parameters and it'll use all of those as children. Now, I would say in your brain, model this as an array because it'll make it simpler in your brain because we will not be writing React like this for very long. So just wanted to point that out before someone online points it out for me. Okay, so we're going to go back to this.